Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lorraine. Today I want to talk about the difference between an LLC and a DBA. Now, you know, a DBA is doing business as, is an assumed name. It's a fictitious name. We already discussed how you can open, or should I say register your LLC in New York. You can also, depending on the type of business you run, like if you sell t-shirts and if you're a creative person and you do party favors for people and you're just like, you know what, I'm really good at this. I want to take it, you know, from my side hustle and kind of improve upon it. So I want to start a business. I want to do an LLC. But you don't have the resources to do an LLC, because in starting an LLC, getting it registered is actually really expensive. Like, it can run you $1,000 or upwards, only because after you register your LLC, you also have to do the publication in the newspaper, and I believe it's 2 different newspapers that you have to do the publication in. You have to pay for that publication, and then at the end of it, when you get back the publication from the newspaper, when you get back the receiving end from the newspaper after they've run your business in their paper for, I think, 7 days, or is it 2 weeks, you have to pay to certify that publication, you know, and each publication to get certified, I believe it's like $200. So if you're doing something smaller, on a smaller scale, and you're not yet ready to do an LLC, you know, especially because of the cost, you can do a DBA. You can go down to the courthouse and pay $25 and, you know, do your name, right? I'm Lorraine Manguals, doing business as Rain's Fusion. Pay my $25, get it notarized, get a certified copy, and get my EIN number, and I can operate my business under my fictitious name. I can also do my website under my fictitious name. Now, the difference between an LLC and the DBA is that the DBA is fictitious, right? It's not guaranteed to stay it's not guaranteed to stay, you know, your name. It also doesn't protect your assets the way an LLC does. As an LLC is a registered entity, right, that protects you from lawsuits or liability, right? That's why you do an LLC. You do an LLC to protect you from liability. A DBA doesn't offer you such protection. However, doing a DBA now, right, you're in the space where, like, okay, I got to do something. I don't want to use, you know, like, I kind of like put my actual name out there. I want my business name to kind of give you an idea of what is it that I actually do. So you do a DBA. You make a little bit of money. You take that first money that you make and you do your LLC, right? But also what comes along with the LLC is insurance, right? That's why we get insurance. We get insurance in case shit happens, and that's what insurance does for an LLC. Now, even if your LLC, you're using the LLC to protect your personal assets, right? You don't want somebody coming after something that you've worked so hard for in your personal life. You got kids. Like, for me, my kids it's everything I earn, everything I work, I do it for my kids, and I would never want to be in a space where someone is coming after the things that I'm working so hard to put aside for my kids, right? I don't want them to come after the business either. But, you know, like Jamaican says, trouble not set like rain, because if it was, we'd know it was coming. So we protect ourselves by doing the LLC, but we protect ourselves even more by having a business owner insurance. We can talk about that in the next video. Business owners insurance is expensive. It's better to use a broker. I use the broker, the same way I use a broker for my car insurance, because they be tripping with these rates, because I get better rates, right? But if you really want to protect yourself, do your LLC, but also get business insurance, business owner insurance. You can do the DBA and start doing your business. You could get your EIN number with your DBA name. You could create your website with your DBA name. just know that going forward, it's probably better to do an LLC. I'm gonna drop the link to the form for the DBA, right? And that's something that you can do if you have an hour or two to spare by going down to the courthouse. You can go ahead and just file your DBA. And that's it. That's it. You walk out the courthouse and you're ready to go home, or while you're on your way back home, if you're not driving, you could get online and at the IRS website, which I'm going to drop in the comments below, and you can apply for your EIN number. And you get it pretty quickly. There's really nothing much to it, a DBA is the same as a legal entity, right? The only thing that distinguishes the legal entity is the personal assets versus the business assets. Drop your questions, drop your comments, tell me what you want to hear, tell me what you want to talk about. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, stay tuned. Right now, everyone in this climate is trying to find their niche. Like, what are my talents? What can I impress upon to make myself money, right? Instead of being tied to this 9-to-5 stuff that we do. How can I have more freedom, both personally and financially? That's always been something that's at the forefront of my mind, is how can I make money? And people always love to tell me that it's not all about money. Yes, it is. Only people who have money have the luxury to say that it's not all about money. That's why I work. I work for money, right? So I can do stuff because stuff requires money. So don't let anyone tell you any differently. I remember when I started cooking. My passion for cooking developed later in life. My father owned a restaurant where when I was little, growing up back home, and he also owned a bar. My mom is also a really good cook. I always thought I got my cooking skills from my dad because he's more of a throw together and see what comes out, and that's me. I can look at 5 random things and be like, okay, 5-star meal. And I remember business owner and people telling me, hey, if you do a restaurant and you cook, you're not going to make any money for the first 3 years. That might be true. I have read everything from here to Mars about restaurants and opening a restaurant and running a restaurant and what the restaurant industry is like. But the restaurant industry is a $1 billion industry. It's a lot of work. And so they also make it much harder for you to start, because the startup cost is insane. Right? And there are all these programs like the SBA and all these grants for minorities and women in business, and apply, and they can give you the startup money. Man, if I ever tell you all what it takes to get that startup money, right? It's not simple. Of course, nothing ever is, right? Because we always got to work that much harder for hours, but also that it's definitely not what they make it sound like, right? So we'll talk about that in another video. But go ahead, take your $25, do your DBA, get your EIN, make your first $1,000, register your LLC, and once you start doing business and generating the income, it might be small at first, so you know. What you're doing might be great, and you just hit the ground running. Get insurance for liability purposes. All right, you guys. I'll see you next time. Hit the subscribe button. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Thanks for watching.